is going on, everybody? We are back. We're here. Thursday night, Tim Bip Live has once again returned. Oh, I made it. I didn't think it was going to happen. Hello, Bev Porter. Good to see you. Hope you've been well. Not a problem at all. But it is so good to see you. Tony Bag of Donuts asking the important questions. Where is Eric? I thought it was his show now. No. You think I would leave all this responsibility to the mutant? What kind of fool do you take me for? Tater Tom, cheers, peoples. Good to see you, Dom. And Top Dog kicking us off. Saying cheers all. Good to see you, buddy. My goodness gracious. Back got itchy all of a sudden. It is good to be back, I tell you what. I've missed you. I miss streaming. I've missed being a part of your Thursday nights. The Eric and April takeover, man, their Patreon pregame chats were they were something else. I tell you what. There was one heck of a bonus episode. If I've ever heard one. But yes, a massive thank you to Eric for continuing Tim Bip while I was away. Not the live streams, of course. I just figured the live streams could rest while I was on whatever paternity leave I was taking, which was basically just me being around in case Lucy needed me for any and everything. And I gotta tell you, oh, that's not what I needed. Much was needed. Much has been needed. Much was needed in the first couple of weeks, for sure. Adjusting to having two kids was and is a feat in and of itself. Just being a dad is exactly right, Tony. And I got to tell you, too, 3 weeks ago, I almost streamed. I've had this stream planned for 3 weeks. But 3 weeks ago, Chad and Sarah went live in my normal time, 7 o'clock. So I said, well, I'm not going to go live. Because I didn't want to interfere with anything. Last week, I was going to go live. But it was my oldest daughter's birthday that week. Eden turned 4 last week. So we had a birthday party. We had one of her birthday parties last Thursday. So I could not, in fact, stream. Watchable drinking. I got the Kirkland Vintage Ale today. I got to know how that is. You got to tell me how that is, Tony. Oh, what you drinking? Oh, just a regular old Guinness. It's quite good, but it started out frozen because it was in the back of my beer fridge, and apparently it was too close to the freezer. So it was a little slushy when I got it out. Anyway, but 2 weeks ago, what's up, Emily Chambers? Good to see you. Hope you have been well. But 2 weeks ago, I also had planned on streaming. But that plan was foiled. By me being in a minor car accident. As I was in a gas station parking lot trying to leave, and a lady hit my car. She didn't back into me. She ran head on with the front of her truck. So I was not exactly in much. Let me pull this up so you can see what. I mean, it wasn't like terrible. Why is it not reading my photos? Never mind. It was annoying. It was annoying. But just kept planning to come back and stream. And I tell you, it just never worked out until this week. But regardless, we're here. That's all that matters. I am tired. Baby was up a lot last night, Miss Ella. But she is wonderful. Eden's been a great big sister. She is loving every second of it. She relishes in being a big sister. It's awesome. I'm enjoying it. Yeah. 2 kids, man. It's different. But here we are. Back to Timbip life. I have missed it so very much. I have missed you guys. I have missed letting you know that if you're watching on the replay, you can hit the like button. Share it with friends. We're going to be getting to the flight here in just a bit. We're going to be hitting the review of the Elijah Craig C924 and the Larceny C924 before we get to the flight, because I want to make sure we take care of those up top. I also want to let you know to follow the show on social media if you haven't done so already at My Bourbon Pod. Support the show on Patreon, patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast. For as little as $1 a month, for as little as $5 a month, you can get bonus content every single week. Access to other perks as well. Patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast. And if you want to support the show in real time, if you are watching live, you can head to the Stream Elements link that is tagged or pinned rather at the top of your chat, whether you're watching on Twitch or on YouTube, depending on where you are, or if you want to head to the description on YouTube, you can head to the Stream Elements link and use that. It is our method of super chatting. We call it Snuffy Chatting. It goes to support our main man back here, Mr. Snuffleupagus himself. Pow pow. He is the patron saint of Timbip Live. This is My Bourbon Podcast Live. We do this every Thursday at 7 p.m. here on youtube.com/This Is My Bourbon Podcast. bonus sexy time content with the mutants. That is true. The bonus content happens every Monday and Tuesday, and occasionally throughout the week, depending on what we have going on. So we got you covered Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, and occasionally on Fridays with Tim Bip, depending on if we've got a bonus episode, a bonus review, or anything that we need to get out. I was saying this on this week's episode, which, by the way, if you haven't listened to this week's episode, I did make a little bit of a return as we reviewed the Jimmy Russell 70th anniversary 8-year 101 Wild Turkey. So if you have not listened to this week's episode yet, I did come back for the review. I will be back for the full Tim Bip next week, so tune in for that. We got 3 big reviews that we're doing. I will not spoil that just yet, even though I spoiled one of them on the main episode. Not getting to that. Tony said, "Hi, Snuffy, you hungry, bud?" He's starving. It's been a minute. He's hungry. But I talked about this on the episode. If you can see back here, there is a table in between our couches back here that has, well, you can't really see too much, and some of the bottles have been moved around. But we, at one point, we had over a dozen bottles on it that have been amassed over the month that I have been gone. So we have a lot of stuff that needs to get reviewed over the next few weeks. So there will likely be bonus episodes on Fridays. There will likely be some kind of stuff, some kind of, whether it's on social media or YouTube, main podcast feed, whatever. We got stuff to catch up on regardless. So you are going to be inundated with plenty of Tim Bip after a month of no Perry. No Pear Bear. So be on the lookout for that. In the meantime, though, thank you so much for sticking around, for waiting for me to get back. Next week, of course, is Halloween. I think I will be off. It might, if I stream, it'll be later. There is a chance. There is a chance that I will stream next week. I haven't decided quite yet if I'm going to. If I do, again, it will be later, for one. So it might be like just a manly West Coast watcher vibe. And 2, it might be Twitch only. It might be more Twitch based because Clifton said in costume, please. High likelihood that I will still be in costume. Because I would be coming from a Halloween party. And we would probably be watching, since YouTube's terms of service policies are pretty jank, we would probably be watching some kind of spooky movie and drinking whiskey along with it. So if all that happens, it would be later on next Thursday over on Twitch. If you're watching on Twitch, you're already here, but make sure that you go and you hit the follow button. We should be hitting subscriptions before too long as well, regardless. But we will be talking about that. Of course, we'll be doing some whiskey content as well, as we always do here with the Tim Bip stuff. So I think that's all the housekeeping I have. The week after that, though, I for sure will be off. Eric and I have a media dinner that we are going to that I can't stream from, unfortunately. But after that, holiday schedules we'll talk about eventually. But there's a good chance that I will be streaming next week. It will just be at a different time. So be on the lookout for that. I think that's enough of me rambling. Let's get to the reviews for the C924 releases of Elijah Craig Barrel Proof and Larceny Barrel Proof. That's the wrong bottle. From our dear friends at Heaven Hill. Elijah Craig is at 11 years and 129 proof. The Larceny. I got the new John Mayer branded guitar strings, or John Mayer signature guitar strings from Ernie Ball, the Silver Slinkies. So I will be trying those soon. I will not be reviewing them because nobody cares. Or I won't be reviewing them on Timbip, but I am excited about these guitar strings. Nobody cares though. Anyway, Elijah Craig, 11 years flat. I grabbed the wrong bottle again. I don't know how I keep doing that. 11 years flat, 129 proof, even. Or odd, I guess. And the Larceny is already on the table. 125.1 proof, and I believe it is still 6 to 8 years old. Now, I know that I am late on this. I apologize. That is just part of me having been gone for a month. But I have gotten familiar with these bottles because it's what happens when you put Barrel Proof Heaven Hill products in my house. They get consumed. Sorry. I'm sorry. I carry your whiskeys a wonderland. Thanks, Tony. So we're going to start with the Larceny, which normally is how I do these reviews because it's wheated, it's younger, usually less flavor that's going to be impacted, or less impact in general because there is not a rye spice here. So, again, going with Larceny. To catch you up on how I have felt about the Larceny barrel proof releases so far this year as well, I was underwhelmed by the B524. I thought it was one of the weaker entries that they have put into the catalog over the past few years, almost slipping back into the standard offerings of Larceny barrel proofs from even the first couple of years. I thought it was that kind of lackluster, and I thought A124 Larceny barrel proof was absolutely phenomenal. I thought it actually beat the C923, which was my bourbon of the year last year in 2023. So we will get to talking more about that here in just a bit. But regardless, I hear that Bag of Donuts guy can sing, especially John Mayer. Anthony Atarietta, you might be onto something there. Tony Joey, I agree with Anthony. Man, there's a lot of Anthony's, Tony's popping in all of a sudden. What's up, Perry? Good to have you back, buddy. What is going on, Brewmaster? Good to see you. Hope you have been well. I think you understand the adjustment that I've been going through over the past month of figuring out how to navigate two kids. And being reminded just what it's like to have a baby. Tony, you're killing me. I genuinely did miss having a baby though. I love babies to death. And this kid, Ella, has been so much fun to have around. She's just a goofy little one. And sweet as can be. Sugar Kitty says meow. What's up, Sugar Kitty? Hope you're doing great. So the Larceny has a bit of ethanol on the nose. Primarily, I'm getting lemon zest, brown sugar, I'm right there with you, buddy. Just turned 9 weeks, and the 3-year-old is shockingly doing great. That's awesome. Eden had a little bit of adjustment anxiety the first couple of weeks, but she's doing really well with it. Just when you thought it was safe to go in the water. Again. Sugar Kitty, hope you're not working yourself too hard tonight. But thank you for helping out here, as always. Green apples. It is a good nose. It's a solid nose. It's not really got the there was an oak influence, a more prominent oak influence with something like the C923 or the A124 that I was picking up on previously that I am definitely not getting with this one. WP with the $20 Snuffy chat. Thank you, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Snuffy says thank you. He's shy and quiet tonight. He forgot what it's like to be on camera, but I guarantee he's thankful. Cheers to you too, though, brother. Thank you so much. I hope you have been well. And if you want to be like WP, head to the Snuffy chat link. That's the stream element link that is tagged or pinned. Why do I keep saying tagged? I don't know. At the top of your chat, whether you are on YouTube or on Twitch. It's just like super chatting. And you actually get your message right up here on the top of your screen. And we appreciate it. It goes to support the show. It buys diapers for my baby. And puts food in the belly of my oldest. Thursdays are always fun. One of the busiest nights out there for tubers. Absolutely. All right. Let's take a dive into the palette as well. Cheers, gang. Thank you so much for being here. As I keep saying, I've missed you. I'm happy to be back. In the same breath as I say, I feel like I've been gone no time at all. I feel like I've been gone for about a year. Regardless, though, let's dive in. The green apple, a little bit of the cinnamon, and the ethanol all really come through on the front end of the palate. As it goes towards the finish, though, it starts to feel really young. And there is quite a bit of corn that pops through. And it really starts to read more like a 3 or 4 year old bourbon. Whereas this is supposed to be, and we take it at, I mean, there's no reason why they would tell us otherwise, I guess. It's a 6 to 8 year old bourbon. Maybe the fact that this just didn't have as intense of a summer or a few summers as it was aging. I don't know. But regardless, it's just not the big profile that we've been getting out of Larceny Barrel Proof over the past couple of years. Now, this is kind of, again, in line with what I felt with B524. I haven't found the Larceny yet. I mean, it's really only been out for a few weeks, or at least it was sent to us a few weeks ago. So I don't know. I don't even know if it's really out on the market just yet either. So I mean, keep that in mind too. I mean, don't get discouraged just yet, because I truly don't know if it's out there. And you'll know for sure if you see it, because this was the first barrel proof release of Larceny with the new bottle design. The new label. Well, not bottle design, but the new label. Which I still am not a huge fan of. personally. But it's okay. It's okay. It is just fine. But regardless. I again know that other people have been reviewing this as well for a while. Oh, and the finish is just kind of okay. The finish is actually better now that I really pay attention to it. It takes that green apple and kind of turns it into more of a caramel apple. The Elijah Craig and Larceny usually come together at Benny's, but I only got Elijah Craig Barrel Proof last weekend. I'm sure the Larceny will be out before too long. Weather's changing and my allergies are acting up. We're having fun here. The finish is not really too magical either. I think you could probably tell that based on everything else that's going on. It just really feels like it is a majority 6-year-old bourbon, and really not playing to the strengths that Larceny Barrel Proof has been able to over the past couple of years, unfortunately. So I don't know. I was really hoping that this one would be in the same camp as some of the other ones, but it is what it is. I don't know what to. It's fine. It's fine. It's not another C923 for sure. I mean, it's not winning any best of, for me at least, this year. So, good, not great, kind of leaning more towards average for me. If I had to give it the Timbip score, nose is probably the best with like a 3.5, closer to 4 maybe, but I'm probably going to give it a 3.5. Palate on a 2.5, finish is a 2. Price still at about $65 a bottle. Can't hate on it. That's a 4. 7.5. I am bad at math, so 9.5. So like a 12. I mean, not a terrible score, not a great score. I don't particularly see a big reason to pick this one up right now. But give it time. Maybe wait until the next one. Try this one before you buy it, I say. That's just me. All right. Elijah Craig, on the other hand. Let's see. The A124 from Elijah Craig. Found the new High Rye Bakers and the Maker's Mark Lost Recipe at Costco today. Maker's was the last bottle on the shelf. Score. I don't know anything about the Maker's Lost Recipe. Wake up, keyboard. I dreaming. Makers has offered their single barrels with different wood finish staves for a while. Not gonna really discontinue the mocha. Oh, is it mocha? Interesting. It's funny. Interesting post. Okay, well, I'll have to check out the, yeah, brought back the mocha stave. Didn't know that. Didn't know that. I look forward to trying it. Potentially finding it. We shall see. I did try the high rye bakers, though, a few weeks ago. And it was quite tasty. Anyway, all right. A124, Elijah Craig. Felt pretty good about it. Wasn't over the moon, but it was solid. B524 I absolutely loved. Scored quite high for me. Don't remember exactly what the number was, but it was good. I mean, it was a very well-respected pour. There is a lot of fruit on the nose here. Dark fruit, dried fruit. It's very sweet as well. Confectionery sugar is very strong on the nose. The oak influence is a lot stronger as well. I think that what we're seeing with this one is probably more indication that the 11-year is not indicative of everything that's in here. I think that there's probably more product in this batch that is on the older side of things. It definitely has a darker color to its presentation, for sure. There is a specific vanilla note in here that I'm struggling to pick up on exactly what it is. I think it might be those old like Baker's First Impression. It's missing the beam nuttiness, replaced by the rye spice. Interesting. I think what this is, it's the old like vanilla wafer snack. I think that's exactly what it is on the nose, actually. Yeah. It would come in the 3-pack with, like, chocolate and strawberry. That's what I'm getting. Anyway. Cheers again, folks. This is good. In a left of center from Heaven Hill's typical Elijah Craig barrel proof, and really some of like Elijah Craig's, or excuse me, Heaven Hill's products and flavor profiles in general. Like, it doesn't really read as a it doesn't have this dark chocolate oaky, just aged characteristic to it. And I mean, its youngest component is 11 years old. So, with that being said, I mean, it's just not going to have the hyper aged character to it that some Elijah Craig barrel proofs do. That being said, though, even with the younger age statement on some Elijah Craig barrel proofs, they have still been able to attain that older flavor profile in some cases. I think in this one it falls a little bit short. The French vanilla really does present itself more towards the back end of the palate into the finish, though. But it is a little thin up front. It's not a huge flavor bomb at the front end of the palate. But it is kind of just like, it overall is just kind of like an ice cream sundae. I don't dislike it, and the more that I have it, the more that I like it, genuinely. But I'm not convinced. I'm just not convinced that this is their best outing with Elijah Craig. So, all that being said, though, I know I said that the Larceny fell on more like the average. I said good, not great, and then kind of backtracked into like average. I think this falls more firmly into like the good, not great area, with the caveat being a little bit heavier on the like, but it's like good, but definitely not great. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't want it to come off like I'm overhyping this, because I'm definitely not. I don't want that to be. I don't want that to be misconstrued. I don't find this to be something that I should be overhyping just because they sent it to me, and I never do that. I'd never want to do that. I've been accused of that in the past. But I do not do that, nor do I believe in doing that. Regardless, good, but definitely not great is how I feel about this. I'll go through and give it a quick little score, too. I suppose. Nose is one of the weaker portions of this score. I'm going to give it a 2.5, I think. Palate. I really wish the front end of the palate weren't so thin. It picks up so much on the back end, but not so much that I'm like really over the moon about it. 3 on the palate. 3 on the finish as well. This is a low score. Man, this is a low scoring Elijah Craig barrel proof, man. Dang. 4 on the price as well. I mean, still. It's gone up in price. It's gone up in price. I believe now they're offering the MSRP at $75. I get it. I still am willing to pay around that for Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. It's still, for the most part, one of my favorite bourbons on the market, if not my favorite bourbon on the market. It just hurts me a little bit to see that it's gone up to $75. Officially, MSRP. So a 4 on price there. Not a very high score. And not a huge difference at all between these two these two scores either. That's a 12.5 for the C924 Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, and a 12 for the Larceny C924. Man, it hurts. Hurts, don't it? I really was not. I knew, and again, I said this at the beginning of the kind of the beginning of the stream, or the beginning of the review, really. That's excuse me for a second. Because I've had these bottles for a little while, I've had the chance to be a little bit familiarized with them. And so I knew that they weren't going to score super high. I just didn't realize that it would be as low as it was. So here we are. So, that moves us into the flight portion of the live stream. We're going to be trying each of the 3 releases in the barrel proof lineup against each other. We're going to start with the Larcenys. A124, B524, C924. Sound like I'm doing some kind of ham radio call out. Or something like that. My bandana's upstairs, so I don't have anything to wipe up with. I got my elbow, I guess. That operates just as well. I apologize. I got hit all of a sudden, like almost as soon as I went live with my allergies. Of course. Of course that's what happened. Shocker of all shockers, I know. All right. So, we're going to start, unsurprisingly, with A. That is immediately an improvement on both of these noses. Honestly, B's not bad either, comparatively. But C is just not quite doing it for me. But Let's kick things off with A. It's so well balanced. But it's got so much flavor. Oh, it's just such a massive burst of flavor. Eric Black, better late than never. Good to see you, man. You talk about me or you? Because I haven't been on for a month. So it could be me. Could be you. What am I tasting? Right now I am tasting through all three of the the Larceny barrel proof releases from this year. A1, B5, and C924. A1 is killer. That finish is fantastic. It is still going, for one. Two, it is like Miss Butterworth's syrup on Eggo waffles. Oh, it's so nice. Absolutely delicious. Baker's high rye 7-year high rye mash for me. Well, you and Tony are birds of a feather there, Eric. Look at that. I did see a bottle of it the other day. There were a couple on the shelf. I might have to go back and get it. I might. We'll see. We'll see. I'm a lot more stringent. Stringent's not the right word. I'm a lot more selective with the bottles that I'm buying these days. Two kids will do that to you, man. 2 kids and 1 working parent at the moment. So it's a lot of Turkey 101 and Benchmark Foolproof. I did splurge last week and buy a bottle of Knob Creek single barrel, so it's like the old days. Yeah, there's so much just not happening on the B. And the A is so much more prominent. The B smells like saltines. Like light or sugar-free peanut butter on saltines. And that's about it. Oh, there's so much ethanol. I get a lot of corn mash on the finish as well. Why is it so similar to... It's so similar to C. It's missing the green apple, though. Huh. Yeah, definitely not blowing me away. The A is easily taking it right now. And the C is definitely better than the B. So far, the B has been eliminated. B524 has been eliminated from the running of favorite Larceny barrel proofs from 2024. Now, I think I'm going to pick the A. More than likely, I'm going to pick the A. But I will put it up against directly the C. And we will find out together. I need a sip of water. I feel like I'm flying through this stream. I don't mean to. We'll do weird stuff. We'll do some weird stuff on the back end. Mine has been open a couple of weeks. I get the peanut shell about mid-palate. Interesting. I've got two bottles that we got sent. I requested them. To be sent to us. That are they're off the beaten path for Timbip, but I don't know where to review them exactly. So I at least want to try them. Like, we'll open them and try them on stream. And we'll see what to do with them. What are they? We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But I will say this. They are not bourbon, and they are not American whiskey. But they're also not what you would expect from that descriptor. Okay? Japanese or Canadian? Both good guesses. Both incorrect. Neither are. Although we do have a Canadian whiskey over there that needs to be reviewed. That we will get to eventually. All right. Officially. I think you probably could have guessed this. But A124 Larceny Barrel Proof is my favorite. It is also not Scotch, and it is not Mezcal. But Larceny Barrel Proof A124 is my favorite Larceny this year. Unsurprisingly, that's unsurprising for me. I was anticipating that. Especially given how much I liked it leading up to tonight. It is not Australian whiskey. All right, no more guessing though. Cuz I want this to be a surprise. I want it to be a surprise. Cuz I don't even know, I genuinely don't know how it's going to turn out, and I want you all to We're all going to go on the journey together. I will say that. All right. Moving on to the Elijah Craigs. A124. 10 years, 9 months old. This guy is 119 proof. And that's A120. B524. 130.6 proof. 11 years, 2 months old. Like I said before, I loved the B524. So, we shall see what happens. Killed my C918 last week. I got a C918 sitting right back there. Kitty, 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 kitty. Ooh. Why is the A124 kind of nice with it? Why does that feel... Why does that kind of feel like... 4-leaf whiskey, what's going on, Stacy? Darn YouTube notifications not working. It is all good. It's good to see you. Hope you've been well. A524 should take this easily. We will find out. We will find out together, Tony. But the A is not bad. The A is not a bad nose. The palate is good up front, and then it is just nothing. There is no finish. It goes absolutely nowhere. Wow. Nothing. Oh, okay, wait. There's a little bit of like toffee that kind of creeps up on the finish. Toasted almonds as well. Yo, Barbossa91 on Twitch. Thank you for the follow. Hey man, how you doing? I'm doing fine. Over on Twitch. Good to see you, though, Barbossa. All right, so the A124, very little happening. Very, very little happening. B524, though. Dude, that's not even... The B. Oh! B524. So what's happening tonight? So tonight, greetings from Austria. Cheers from Lexington, Kentucky. I am tasting through the Heaven Hill barrel proof releases from 2024. There's usually 3 from Larceny and 3 from Elijah Craig. Sorry, give me 1 second. But I reviewed the most recent ones, the ones that came out in September, and now I'm putting them all up against each other to see which ones are best. You're up awful late for being in Austria, though. Yeah, that B is impossibly good. Dumb question, but do you know a streamer or something where I can talk about your... Do you mean like talk about your problems? Because I'm good. Do you need to talk to somebody? English isn't the best. That's all good, homie. Hey, YouTube folks. Barbossa, what's going on, man? Tell me, what's happening? YouTube folks, we're taking a little bit of a diversion. We got a new friend over on Twitch. We also got friends coming over to Twitch to hang out too. Bossa. What's on your mind? Lay it out. There's Eric. Twitch on deck. Thank you, Emily. Barbossa, here's the thing, man. You have stumbled upon one of the most welcoming, open, and helpful communities. Not just on the internet, but in the world, and that is the whiskey community. We have people who care about each other, not just online. We show up for each other in person. We raise money for those in need. We show up when our friends need us the most. We are fast friends. There is not a stranger that we have ever met. You are in the presence of people who have been through struggles just like yours. So, if you need somebody to talk to, we are here. There's not a whole lot of us here right now, but we are open ears, we are open hearts, we are open minds. Whatever you need, if you need somebody to talk to, genuinely, we can listen. Eric's right. We can listen or we can talk. It seems like you need somebody to have to just listen to. We're here to listen. Sometimes people don't even want to be given advice to. They just want to have somebody to listen to. That's not a problem. Whatever you need, let us know. Be a little big text to read. It's all good. It's all good. Eric made a very good point. Start with the weather. Absolutely. YouTube chat. We're helping out a new friend over on Twitch. We had somebody pop in. His name's Barbosa. He needs somebody to talk to, so we're going to be chatting with a new friend for a little bit. In the meantime, too, I'm going to go ahead and say easily the B has beaten out, the B524 has beaten out the A and the C for the best Elijah Craig barrel proof of 2024. A was definitely out quickly. That's what we do, Emily. I do want to see between A124 and B524. A124 Larceny. And B524 Elijah Craig. Which one I prefer, though. So. I drank almost an entire bottle of B the week I spent at my sister's in Washington. It's an easy drinker, man. It is a very easy drinker. But it's so full of flavor. Barbosa's still typing out. So we're just holding. We're just waiting. I was not paying attention. I definitely just drank both of those side by side. I was not paying attention to which ones I preferred. Just kind of passively drinking. I did blend the other ones that I wasn't as big of a fan of. So I'm going to see how these blends do, too. I wonder if he just made friends with comedian Ralph Barbosa. I don't know. I was drinking my infinity bottles last night. That sounds nice. Where is my infinity bottle? It's a little far away. I might grab it. Our new friend on Twitch, Barbosa, is from Austria. And it seems like Ralph is American. So I doubt it. But we're gonna patiently wait. Might have to switch over to my Twitch. My stream manager here, just in case something gets. Ralph's of Latin descent? Well, I mean, yeah, but Latino. That's from a different area than, Austria. Thinking of opening a 9-year rye I picked up today. What 9-year rye? I'm so sorry for that text, man. I feel bad now. What do you feel bad about? Don't feel bad. If you need to chat, if you've got something you want to chat about, we are here for you. Don't worry about it. Let us know. Drop it in the chat. We are here for you. Like I said, we're here to listen. This maker smells fantastic. Wish I hadn't sent your box yesterday. That's a beautiful thing about the mail, Tony. I already dropped it. Did it get held for review? Hang on. It might have gotten held for review. Finish that thought. The beautiful thing about the mail is that it runs multiple times. I didn't see it, Barbosa. It's not even showing No, I'm questioning the palette didn't line up with the Mocha nose. Interesting. Hang on. Let me check on my phone. Because sometimes yeah, it might have gotten It might have gotten filtered. If you want to break it up into a couple ones, couple messages, feel free to do that. I'm sorry it didn't come through. Yeah, I got my stream manager open in a couple different places now too. Just in case. Just in case. We'll watch out for you. In the meantime, I'm going to grab these two weird bottles that I said we're going to crack and try to figure out what to do with for something. I don't know what we're going to do with them, but we're at least going to taste them and talk about them. So give me 2 seconds. Still too long? All good. All good. I'd say just break it up into like a few sentences at a time. I don't have slow mode on or anything. Anyway, weird bottles. The weird bottles. I got this email a few weeks ago saying we're finally putting out these products to our American market for the first time. And I was like, you know what? I would love to try this if you would be willing to send me a bottle. And they're like, yeah, okay, sure. Why not? So, lo and behold, for the first time, we're going to be trying an Indian single malt whiskey. This one's just straight single malt. It's 10 years old at 86 proof. And the second one is another Indian sherry cask. And this one's also 86 proof. From India. Never had India single malt before. All right, Mr. Barbosa. First, I'm 24 now, and I had a girlfriend since I was 17, and we broke up half a year ago, so we were together about 7 years. We experienced and did so much things together for the first time. I'll go ahead and say this before we go too far. I can relate to that. I can relate to part of it. At least. I married my high school sweetheart. She and I have been together since we were 17. So I understand. And for folks coming in on YouTube, we're chatting with a new friend over on Twitch who needed some help. First car, first own apartment, first holiday, and other things went pretty well. And from one day to another, she left me, and on the next day, she went with somebody. She went with another, and now they're together. Ooh. Now, I'm not going to lie. This is tough, man. This is tough. I love Lucy says Perry every day. I do say that. Again, I'm gonna try these Indian single malts as well. Since this moment, my life changed at every point, and since that moment, she acted like all these years never happened, and it's like we were just some randoms who never met. I often think at this one and only moment we had together, and I just want to go in my mind why it is how. What you're asking basically is, why does it have to be the way it is now, after everything that happened before? Now, I am not the best person to answer this question. Genuinely, I am not the best person to speak to this because I, like I said, met my wife. What's going on with my hair? When I also was 17. I too basically married my first love. We fell in love very early, very hard, very fast. But we also knew that we were supposed to be together. We have been together every day since we started dating. We've never broken up. And I apologize, this sounds like I am leading to something with this. There's a point behind me saying this. The point that I am trying to make is that I know how hard the thought of not being able to live without that person is. I understand that. I also understood prior to meeting my wife, this girl that I fell madly in love with very early on. I also experienced heartbreak too. I did. This is true. I was young, but I still felt it. All of those feelings, all of those experiences, everything that you are feeling right now, it is all valid, it is all important, and it is all something that you, and I know that this is one of the harder things that people tell somebody who is going through something that is as hard and as difficult as what you are going through. But it is all something that you are going to use for the next time that you have these big feelings and big emotions. To not only appreciate what is going to happen the next time even more, but it's also going to give you a better understanding of why you are in that place. I am not somebody who is a believer in everything happens for a reason. I don't like that notion. I am, however, a believer in we can learn from everything that we experience. Those are two entirely different sets of circumstances to me. One, the notion of everything happens for a reason feels it implies that we don't have control over who we are, right? It implies that everything happens to us and we don't have ownership over our own being. The other, saying that we learn from everything that happens to us, is an implication that we are able to absorb our experiences and we are responsible for the way that we react to them, which to me is not only a better existence, but it is also a more fulfilling existence, and one that I think you, in this particular instance, may be wanting to find reason in. I'm not saying that you're going to wake up tomorrow and go, I've learned a big lesson and I'm going to feel better because I've officially moved on from my relationship. Because it doesn't happen that way. 7 years is a long time to have been with a person, a friend, a significant other, whomever, and you can't just drop that mentally, emotionally, whatever. You can't let go of that. And grieving takes a long time, one way or another. However, don't let it happen to you. Give yourself space to accept that you are taking part in what is happening around you and what is happening inside of you too. I think that is so much more important than not allowing yourself the opportunity to heal, because you do have to heal eventually. This is not being callous about it either. I just try to survive with all sorts of things and stuff. I have no goal to fight for the future, just to clean my mind with a few little hobbies, which don't often work. I understand that. Like, nothing. You're not trying to replace anything. And you shouldn't try to replace anything either. You don't want to fill a void. But you have to remember too that Ben. Anyway, sorry. All loss is valid and sense of betrayal is real. This is from Emily over on YouTube, Barbosa. You don't want to stop feeling, but part of love is knowing you are the only person you can control. Absolutely. Sharing now is a first step to recognize to yourself that you are important and your feelings are important. Yes. Your friends also left you hanging. That is rough too. I mean, I will admit that is rough too. And I'm sorry. I am genuinely sorry for that. Independent Joe, what's going on, buddy? Independent Joe, anybody who's coming in over on YouTube, we got a new friend who's stopped in over on Twitch who needed somebody who needed some new friends to talk to. So we're talking to a new friend. His name is Barbosa. We're getting to know Barbosa. They've been through a particularly rough time, the breakup. We're just trying to listen, give some solace, and be here. Look at this, Barbosa. Independent Joe on YouTube. Remember how I said before we ever started how awesome this community is? People who don't even know you. People who don't even know you are stepping up and saying cheers. This is our way of saying welcome. This is our way of saying you are now a part of our family. Friends, community, people who care about you are not always the ones that you can see in your immediate vicinity. Sometimes we're online. Sometimes we're on your screen. Sometimes you can only hear us over headphones. Dadgummit, we care about you, man. My only hobbies are working on my old BMW, riding my motorcycle, which get me off into think and cruising random places with my camper van. That sounds awesome. That sounds sick. That sounds like a great way to meet new people, too. And it feels good to be here right now. That's what we were hoping for. That's what we wanted. That's all we could hope for, you know? Sometimes you sit in a bar and wait in Lexington and wait for them for hours and hours. Ben, I love you. Barbosa's all the way in Austria, too. Oh, man. You should create a journal of the random things you see and the interesting things you see. Absolutely. I love that. There's so many different ways to heal. And again, I don't want to imply that you being here is us trying to force you into ways to heal. Because it shouldn't be that way. We don't want you to get pushed into mentally stressing yourself into into overextending your healing process. Do it in your own time, And it seems like you are, and you're getting there, and you will get there. Anytime. Look, again, the bourbon community, the whiskey community, these people here, not just on Twitch, on YouTube, too, come hang out with us. Come hang out with us. I'm live every Thursday. We'll be happy to have you. You don't have to even talk about what's going on in your life. Just hang out for a little bit and forget about what's going on in your life. That's what we're here for. This is the first time I've been live, by the way, in a month, Barbosa. Because I've been busy. I had another baby. I had a new kid. I haven't had a chance to go live. Honestly, this was a great surprise coming back and being able to chat with a new friend. I'm sorry that we met under these circumstances, but it's great to meet you. And thank you for being here. All the things I would love to share with someone and not trying to escape, but also can't enjoy them. Anytime you need somebody to chat with, come by. Come by. We're here for you. We're here for you, man. I hope we helped. I hope that we were able to give you a feeling of you're not alone more than anything. Friends come in all shapes and sizes. You could highlight my comment trying to get him to come over here. It'd be easier to chat with him. Thanks for calling me Barry, by the way, Ben. Barry Terry Perry, stupid chat voice to text. And now I had the random join and just talk about how down my life is at the moment. I'm sorry that it went this way. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. What are you talking about? Everybody in this chat was a random at one point. Everybody was a random at one point. And now you're a part of the family. If you want to, it's even better over on YouTube. If you want to come hang out on YouTube too, we got a great community. This is my Bourbon Podcast on YouTube. No apologies for being human. Absolutely, Emily. Absolutely. We're all human. And like I said, I'd love to be part of your community. Come by, man. Come by. Come hang out. That's what we're here for. I'm going to try these daggum Indian whiskeys. These Indian single malts. We're going to start with the Maharaja. The 10-year. 86 proof. Oh. Y'all, it smells like chocolate chip pancakes. That does not smell like any single malt I have ever smelled before. No single malt I have ever smelled before. Oh my gosh. Joe, it is genuinely, it is an Indian single malt. Like the country of India. Royal Tiger Maharaja Indian single malt, 10 years old, 86 proof. For generations, the Maharajas, kings, ruled over India, synonymous with power, influence, and an Epicurean lifestyle. The Maharajas governed over the subcontinent. Royal Tiger now proudly introduces Maharaja Edition single malt whiskey. The result of 10 years of aging in ex-bourbon barrels is an incredible expression of whiskey perfection. It's a whiskey fit for a king. Incredible how friendly all here are. Such a big heart. Dude. The thing is, we've all been there, man. We've all been there. We want you to feel like you're not alone, too. We're here for you. All right. Cheers. To the future. To not feeling alone. To not being on your own. To things getting better. Now, Barbosa, I gotta tell you about Ben over on YouTube, Whiskey Uncensored. He's very sarcastic. He loves to make jokes. He said, "Oh, come on, you don't get to call me out for my enlarged heart." He's very funny. Honestly, in my hometown, there would never be so much kindness. Thank you all so much. There is no need to thank us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the chance on a Twitch streamer that had, I had like, one or two people in the Twitch chat when you stopped in. Some say he might be on. Yeah, Ben is definitely uncensored. You're right. Barbosa, anytime. Anytime. This single malt whiskey is phenomenal. I've been drinking barrel proof all night, and at 86, this is absolutely packed with flavor. This is crazy. It's in an ex-bourbon barrel. This single malt. That's insane. Barbosa's still over on Twitch, Ben. All right, the sherry. All right, the sherry finish smells a lot more like a typical single malt would. Oh, it does not taste like it, though. Oh, where is Barbosa? Oh, sorry. As far as region or state. Barbosa is actually in Austria. Yeah, Barbosa is Austrian. Y'all, I'm going to be really honest with you. These are two of my favorite international whiskeys I've ever had. To have gone from I'm not sure about this to I genuinely love this. The random guy from the end of the world. Stay safe over there. It's something. There's something in the water over in Germany and Austria right now. Stay safe, my friend. Yeah. It's almost 3 a.m. in your country. Amazing. Papa Ritter's not going to pop in tonight, unfortunately. because he's got a high school reunion thing tonight. But it is also time for me to go ahead and log off from this wonderful stream. What a great way to log back on after a month of being away from you folks. I missed you. I really have. I love you. Thank you. Wheelwright? No, not the Wheelwright, folks. I love y'all. Thank you for being here. Yeah, it's 9 p.m. here in Lexington, Kentucky, Barbosa. I will hopefully see you next week on Halloween. As I said earlier. Late night stream, probably. Mostly on Twitch, I believe. Because I'm going to be in costume. And I'll be watching some kind of spooky movie. Spooky! But regardless. Thank you all so much for being here. Support the show on Patreon, patreon.com/MyBourbonPodcast. Follow the show on social media @MyBourbonPod. And subscribe if you haven't done so. And that about does it. Thank you. I love you. You guys are the best. What a wonderful, wonderful night this has actually been. We'll see y'all real soon. Until next time, though, I'm Perry. This is Tim Bip Live. You guys are... You warm my heart. Peace, y'all. Be kind to each other. Bye.